Good morning Year 6 who are working at home, and welcome to our literacy video. Today shouldn't be too long, it might be a bit of a short one, so make sure you're doing your reading eggs tasks that have been set as well. So on to literacy. So you might remember from previous writing units that you've done, when we look at non-fiction, we create a shape that we follow, and all types of non-fiction writing will follow that particular shape. So we are going to look at a postcard, and the first thing we need to do is to identify those shapes. So hopefully you can see a copy of this either on your screen, or I'll upload it to Dojo and the class page. And if you have got a copy of this postcard, it might look a bit different on yours. There might be a picture down here in the corner and a bit bigger writing to make it easier for you to see. If you've been able to print that, great, but if not, don't worry. What I want you to do now is read that through twice for me. So you might want to pause the video and just read that through twice, so you've got a really good understanding of what is in the postcard. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to read that through now. I'm going to read it out loud now. What I want you to think about while I'm reading it out loud is, what style of writing is this in? Who do you think this character is, and who is he writing to? And does that help you with why he might have written in that style? Okay, so, hello Ma. Although I'm missing you, life in prison ain't so bad. I'm getting 3 meals a day and I'm making lots of friends. Yesterday, I was up and down the vegetable patch 3 times, collecting fruit, veg and pulses. Tomorrow, we are going to use them for bean soup. Maybe I'll trade my milk for extra beans. As part of my rehabilitation, I've been asked to help at the prison farm with the cows. Let's hope I don't sell any. It's full of thieves in here. I met a thief in here called Goldilocks, who steals from animals. Is the goose still laying? If so, please can you sneak in an egg? That would be extraordinary. I miss them so bad. Are you eating enough? How are you managing at home without me? Missing you. Hope to see you soon. Your loving son, Jack. So that postcard is actually written from Jack, from the story Jack in the Beanstalk, and there's a few clues in there, like about selling the cow, and he's got a friend in Goldilocks, and he's getting 3 meals a day, because remember Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk was quite poor, and that's why he sold his cow. And the tone of this postcard is quite informal, and that tends to be the case. When we're writing a postcard, it tends to be to someone we know quite well, and it's quite short and sweet, so we haven't got time to write big long essays and letters. It's short information to someone that we know really well, and you can see that in some of the language used. Again, I want you to pause the video. Can you find 3 examples where Jack in this postcard has used informal language? Pause the video now. Can you find 3? Okay, I wonder if you spotted you've got hello without a H, so it's in the way that Jack would say it, hello. We've also got words like ain't and gonna that I wouldn't normally let you write in your literacy books, would I? But in this style, this informal style, it's okay for this one time only. So we're going to be using things, informal styles like that, when we write our own postcard. So first thing we need to do is find the shapes that are going to help us write this postcard. And we're going to do that by breaking the text down. So the very first thing that we've got is hello Ma. Now, every postcard starts with something like that, and that is a greeting. So we need to come up with a symbol that means greeting. I think I'm going to use a waving hand. Now, we all know Miss Thompson's drawings are not the best, so I'm sure you'll do a better job than me. So there's my hand, and I'm just going to draw some lines like it's waving. Now, if you haven't got a copy of the text in front of you, I'm going to show you what I would like you to do on the side here. Whether you've got lined paper or not, it doesn't matter. Hopefully you can still see this. So what I would like you to do, you could write the date at the top, but I want you to write in order the shapes that we are finding. So this would be number 1, and this is a greeting. So I just want you to write what this is called, so greeting. And then I just want you to write the example that is in the text, because if you've not got the text in front of you, you might be looking at a screen. Just copy down where you see that in the text. So in ours, it says, hello, Ma. And once you've got that, you can then draw the symbol in your book as well. So just a little bit extra writing, but that'll be fine. Wow, my drawing, sorry, is getting worse. There we go. Or you can do that symbol either in the margin, underneath, it depends where you have space. So that's what I want you to do if you haven't got the text in front of you. Okay, so let's find the next one then. So, although I'm missing you, life in prison ain't so bad. I'm getting 3 meals a day and I'm making lots of friends. So there he's starting with a good thing, isn't it? He's leading in with some positivity. So there, it's almost like he's telling us the best bit about his experience. And if you were writing a postcard from a holiday, for example, you would probably start with the best thing you've done, which might have been, you know, swimming with dolphins or making new friends on the beach, those type of things. You always want to start a postcard with something really positive. So I'm going to call this section the best bit. And again, you need to think of a symbol. So you don't have to use the symbol I use. You might think of your own symbol. What could represent the best bit? Well, it's quite positive, isn't it? So I think I'm going to do a little plus for positive, then a V, so I know it's positive. Okay, you might do a star for the best bit, or you might do a thumbs up. Another dodgy drawing from Miss Thompson there. Thumbs up. Whatever you think is appropriate. Actually, I think I quite like the star. I'm going to do that one. So again, if I didn't have the text in front of me, I would be writing number 2. And this shape is called the best bit. So I'll be writing that underneath. Now, I don't expect you to copy. Oh, done a capital there and not a capital there. There we go. The best bit. I don't expect you to copy that whole thing. Just pick out a section that helps you remember where it is. So I think I'm going to go for the life in prison ain't so bad, because that tells us that he's going to tell us something good. So life in prison ain't so bad. And you can see there I've used quite a lot of that line, so I think I'm going to do my symbol under here and I'm going to do the star. The best bit. I might even do some lines around it like that because it's really good. The best bit. Okay, hopefully you can still see that. So we've got a greeting and then the best bit. What comes next? Let's have a reread of this paragraph. Yesterday, I was up and down the vegetable patch 3 times, collecting fruit, veg and pulses. Tomorrow, we're going to use them for bean soup. Maybe I'll trade my milk for extra beans. As part of my rehabilitation, I've been asked to help out at the prison farm with the cows. Let's hope I don't sell any. Now this paragraph to me looks like it's in 2 parts and it looks like it splits here. So we're talking about yesterday, what he's already done, and then what he's going to do. So really short sentences, a yesterday and then tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow. And that's important in a postcard, to let the person who you're writing to know what you've been up to and what you're going to get up to. So I think we could use a nice simple symbol there. For the yesterday part, I think we could do an arrow going backwards. And then for the tomorrow part, we could use an arrow going the other way. And they are 2 separate shapes, but they go together in 1 paragraph. We can see that they're still in 1 paragraph, but they are 2 separate pieces of information. So this will be number 3. Will be yesterday. And I'm not going to copy it all out this time, but you know, if you've not got the text in front of you, you need to write something from the text that tells us it happened yesterday, and then the symbol. Let's make that a bit bolder so you can see. And then shape number 4 is tomorrow. You can pick out a piece of your text Okay, so we've got another 2 symbols done there nice and quickly. Fantastic. So then let's move on to the next paragraph. It's full of thieves in here. I met a thief in here called Goldilocks who steals from animals. That's almost a little bit random information, isn't it? So maybe that's just extra information. So maybe we could have, what symbol could we use for extra information, just to bulk up our story to the person we're writing a postcard to. Remember, we don't want too much information in a postcard, but we want a little bit. We want to let them know what's happening. So what could we use for extra information? I'm sure you could come up with a fantastic one. I think I'm just going to keep it simple and do a capital I for information. So again, if you're not annotating on the shape, that one is called information or extra information. And I would probably just copy the first sentence there to show we're talking just about something else, not quite related to us, but just something that the person we're writing to might want to know. So there's our information symbol. Our shape is really coming together now, isn't it? We can see that we start with the greeting, we tell the person we're writing to the best bit, then we tell them something that happened yesterday, what's going to happen next, and then we bulk up our postcard with a little bit more extra information. Now we're into our last paragraph, so on to shape number 6. Is the goose still laying? If so, please can you sneak in an egg? That would be extraordinary. A little bit of a pun in there, snuck in. I miss them so bad. Are you eating enough? How are you managing at home without me? Now, within that paragraph, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. And out of those 5 sentences, 3 of them are questions. So this is almost like where the person we're writing to can respond to us through a question. And luckily, I know a nice simple symbol for that. So we want to end our postcard, well, nearly end our postcard, with some questions so that when the person we're writing to responds, they can give us the answers to those questions. So we want to question. And in fact, we can do more than once. It's plural, isn't it? We can ask questions because it might be a long time since you've spoken to this person you're writing to. So you might just copy one of those questions if you're writing onto a sheet of paper into a book. So our 6th shape there is questions. But also within that paragraph, we've got a question, but we've also got something else. Please can you sneak in an egg? So the writer here, Jack, is asking for something. So that's kind of the whole point of this postcard. He's given information, but actually this is what he wants, isn't it? So the time to make that request isn't at the beginning. If he'd said, hello, Mark, can you bring me an egg? That would almost come across rude, wouldn't it? So he saved the request till the end. So that's where this symbol will go. So we're going to do a request. So how could you draw a symbol for a request? Someone asking for something. I don't want to do another question mark. We could maybe do prayer hands, like begging, please can you bring me something? If you're a good drawer, you might be able to draw those. I think I'm going to do, just to make it different from the question mark, a speech mark. Okay, with a question mark in it. So it's like he's asking for something. So different to the questions that he's asking, those what he wants answers to, but the request is what he is asking his mom to bring him. Okay, if you're come up with a better symbol, I would love to see what you are able to come up with for that one. So that's our final paragraph. And then we've got missing you, hope to see you soon, your loving son, Jack. And that's just our final section there, isn't it? So that's like our sign off, our goodbye. Now I've already got a waving hand for the greeting, so I don't want to confuse it by doing something similar to that. So I think I'm going to do for our sign off, I think I'm going to do a love heart, because he's saying missing you, I hope to see you soon. And when we're writing to someone, it tends to be someone that we love, a family member or a friend. So we're signing off in a really nice way there. So I want you to pause the video now. If you need to, you can rewind, or if you've paused as we've gone along, that's also fine. But if you haven't, now is your time to go and fill in those symbols or to write them with the quotes into your book. If you've got colours at home, you might want to add a bit of colour onto that to make it nice and colourful and to stand out. But for now, that is our literacy lesson. So we found the shape, and that is the shape that we are going to follow anytime we write a postcard. So what you will see, if I just turn over onto the next page, is our non-fiction map, our postcard map, okay? And we will use this when we're planning our own postcard. So you can see there all those symbols that we just spoke about split into several different paragraphs. So that is what we are aiming towards after today's lesson, moving into tomorrow's lesson. So remember, your task today is to either rewrite into your book, or if you've been able to print the sheet off, oops, sorry, wrong page, to draw the symbols onto your Jack and the Beanstalk postcard. I keep forgetting what it's called. So the Jack and the Beanstalk postcard, if you can squeeze them in there, or if not, write them onto a separate page or into a notebook. That is absolutely fine. And if you've completed that, remember it is Reading Eggs task to finish for today. You've got Reading Eggs every single day. But for now, that is your literacy lesson, and I will see you tomorrow for your next lesson.